Hi you guys, it's Summer and today I'm doing another book review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe of course to my channel if you have not already, and without further ado, let's get into today's video. So in my last book review I told you guys a little bit about this and that I was almost finished, and I'm finally done. It didn't take very long for me to get done because I had maybe like 3 chapters left, but the chapters were very short. I did a review like 2 weeks ago on Instagram. You guys know I do reviews on books on Instagram as well. You guys would like to see those and keep updates on new books that I read before the video comes out. You will see those there. So I don't remember per usual what rating I gave this book. So this might be a absolutely different review. Not review, but rating. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. Please ignore my nails. I'm going to give this book, It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover here, a 6 out of 10. I rate it 5 out of 5 too. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. If we're rating it 5 out of 5, I'll give it a 3. It was quite mellow. I love the ending. I always talk about loving the endings in books, but I love the ending. It was really cute and everything just really tied in at the end. She did really good on the ending. So what I will say is make sure you guys read these books in order and not out of order, because if you read this first without reading the other one, you'll be dead bored. You'll be dead bored if you accidentally read these out of order, because you will not know anything, any context, anything. So my favorite part in the book is the ending, obviously, when they got married. Lily and almost said Adam. If you know, you know, but Lily and Atlas got married in this book, and they kind of started on their journey of being together. So they're getting married and they're kind of already a blended family. Atlas has his brother who he's taking care of. He has sole custody of him. And then Lily, of course, has her daughter Emerson. They're living together. Well, they've been living together a little bit before it. And I said it was my fave and not faves review thingy. In that video, I said I didn't agree with some of the, did I say ideas or some of the choices? Yeah, choices she had the main character, Lily, make. So we can really, no, it's in this book. So she really went into depth in the beginning. If you didn't read It Ends With Us, then you won't really know. But I did a review on it, I believe. That was my first review. My first book review was on it. It Ends With Us, I believe. Lily, her dad was abusive. So her mom was in an abusive relationship and she got in a relationship and it turned out to be abusive as well. But she successfully left the abusive relationship, something that it took her mom years to do. It took Lily, she didn't want to end up like her mom. She didn't want it to take years. She was really strong in that aspect because she didn't leave immediately, but she was a victim. It's hard to process things like that. But she left at a pretty good time, but she ended up getting pregnant. And so they went into depth more about like custody between the child and the abusive husband. I'm just going to call him by that, ex-husband, because that's what he is, and his name shall not be named. It's Ryle. So her ex-husband Ryle has custody of their child Emerson, and she lets him see her when he has breaks, and she's pretty cooperative with his schedule to make sure their child sees him. And that was one of the things that I didn't really agree with, but it was hard, I will say, because she didn't report any of the domestic violence things that were going on, the abuse. She didn't report it because she was kind of trying to process it. And you really think about it, when you go to try to file a report, not only is it not taken seriously, but you have to kind of relive that again. You have to relive it again to tell the story to them. to get things flowing and really make a report, like re-traumatizing, I feel. But she didn't report any of the abuse that was happening, so they didn't have any, she couldn't just their child and not let him see her at all. They went to court also because they had a divorce, she wasn't going to stay with him. No one knew she was really being abused, and she didn't. There was no like track record of it besides her being injured. But besides that, there wasn't anything there weren't any charges or anything placed on him. So it was just like, you can't keep your child away from him the child never stayed overnight with him because that was like one of the agreements she had, because obviously he's not to be trusted. He's not to be trusted. So why would I leave my infant child with you? And he had one thing I was trying to I was just really thinking about and really cultivating in my mind, really just going over and analyzing. I feel like his family knew how he was to somewhat extent. And when they get into relationships and find their new victim, it's just like they don't say anything. And they just let things play out, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. But I feel like sometimes they know. They do. They definitely do. Some families definitely do know. I mean, it can be hidden sometimes. And I don't know. I just feel like a lot of times they know and they don't warn or say anything, and they kind of protect them. They protect them. Y'all can say what you want, but I feel like they protect them when they know. And sometimes, even once they find out, they still try to protect the abusers, the one that are abusing people. Like, it's crazy. They're in denial and they're like, oh, no. No, they did that. They did. Towards the end, they were trying to get him. They said that they were trying to get him. They were like, Lily had to sit him down with other people around because he has horrible anger issues. She was like, you're not going to be able to, if you have something to discuss with me, you're only going to be able to discuss it. Sorry. Yeah, I love flipping pages of a book. I just now realized that I'm doing this. And she's like, if you want to discuss something with me, you're going to have to do it with people around me because I don't trust you. She met with him 2 times or something, and he got physical with her. And I wouldn't have trusted to been around him alone anyway after what happened during the marriage. I would have, but nonetheless, she trusted him. And mind you, this is after the marriage. They're no longer married. They just are co-parenting their child, Emerson, and he's gonna push her back on a wall. Just insanity. I would not have my child around that man. I don't care. I just wouldn't. Like, you need to be in anger management, in therapy, and a psych ward. I don't know where you need to be, but you don't need to be around our child. But yeah, the book was pretty good. Would I read it again? I would read It Ends With Us again, but I don't think I would read this again. But it really was good and lighthearted. It wasn't too much. It wasn't like traumatic, and I wasn't sobbing or anything. So it's very lighthearted, and I like that. And that will probably be the only reason I would read this again, if I need like a refresher or just a book to read that doesn't make me feel too emotional or too angry. Like, I had emotions reading this, but I wasn't super emotional. I didn't feel like stressed out over the main character. I didn't feel like that at all. So that will probably be the only reason I would reread this book, because it didn't tug at the heartstrings too much. It didn't tug at the tear strings too much. It didn't do too much. So yeah, if I'm going through a lot with a book, then and I just need something to just cool me down, something chill, then I'll reread this again. But yeah, that's all for this book. So I was trying to figure out which book I wanted to read next. It was either going to be the Silent Library book, or it was going to be this book, of course. And I'm trying to figure out, after I finish these two books, the Silent Library and this one, what book am I going to get next? Because I kind of want to get a self-help book next, but which one is trying to figure out which one. There's a lot, and I have so many screenshots of books in my phone, y'all. I deleted some of them. I have the Silent Library now. I have that Silent Library book now, so I deleted that screenshot, but I still have some other screenshots of books that I want to get. Not many though. I want to take some more screenshots and just follow some more people who read books, because I need some other genres of books besides romance. I don't know. I feel like I'm not into romance as much as I used to. Like when I was way younger, I would read a lot of romance novels on Wattpad, but I'm not really into the romance anymore, I would say. And that's probably why, because I used to read them all the time. So I'm not really into it anymore. And I wasn't mainly only into romance when it's like thrillers, investigation type books, those books. Just anything to give a little thrill. Like the Boxcar, was that the Boxcar Children? I used to read the Boxcar Children, y'all, in elementary. And now I don't even remember what those books were about. Should we go back on a deep dive of books that I used to read? That would be fun. So this is the next book that I decided to read. I wanted to read The Silent Library, but I feel like it would be a little bit more monotoned in comparison to the book I just finished. I feel like The Silent Library would give, I don't know, I just want to like feel something now, because I wasn't really feeling anything with It Starts With Us. Like it was cute, but it wasn't pulling anything out. It wasn't like I wasn't on my toes or anything. Same with the other book, like they both weren't giving. So I just need something to just like feel something with. And I feel like this is the book I'm gonna feel something with. Like intense emotions and just not fear, but just types of emotions and evoke some reactions out of me, as opposed to The Silent Library. So that's gonna be the next book. But I'm reading this book. It's by J.D. Robb, Random in Depth. I almost said it. Did you guys hear me? I said in depth. In depth. When I looked at the author's name, I thought it was a man. But then I looked on the back of here. It's a woman. So I just, and when I say just, I mean just started reading this book. This just fell out, y'all. I don't know where that was. Was it on the first page or not? I just opened the book up. Like this book already, I'm gonna give a prediction. It low-key gives, what's that? It's giving that ghosted book. But it's mainly after I read the description of it, I was like, it's low-key giving Karen and McManus. No, let me stop. But it's not. I just say authors' names. That's not even the book that I'm trying to reference, but it's giving the ghosted book just a little bit after reading the description. But I'll give you guys something more on this book once I'm done. I'm looking at a piece of like oh my gosh, some dust. I'll talk about it a little bit on Instagram, so follow me there. But as far as any other like sneak peeks, predictions, you guys will not hear anything else. I mean, unless I get a new book. But you guys won't hear anything else about this book until I'm done with it. So please look forward to that. That's it for this video. I feel like it's a little bit short, but short and sweet. Short and sweet. That's all. I hope you guys like this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, of course, and also turn on those. I say those, but it's turn on the post notification bell, child. Turn on the post notification bell because it notifies you guys whenever I post a new video. And that's it. I love you. God loves you. Make sure you guys comment down below. You guys can also give me book recommendations on Instagram too. You don't want to do it here. But yeah, that's all.